Every single day, you wake up with a decision to make. You can let the day happen to you, or you can take charge and happen to the day. It doesn't require a major life overhaul or some heroic transformation. What it takes is discipline, intention, and 5 simple rules that, if lived out consistently, will change the way you approach everything, from your goals to your mindset to your relationships. How you begin your day sets the rhythm for everything that follows. The first hour after you wake up is not just about routine. It's a declaration of control. It's the window where your mind is most receptive, your energy most undistracted, and your choices most impactful. When you own this hour, you send a message to yourself and the world. I lead my day does not lead me. Most people wake up and immediately reach for their phones. They scroll through emails, social media, and messages, instantly letting the outside world dictate their thoughts and emotions. From the very first moment, they're reacting. But those who are committed to growth, discipline, and clarity don't start their day in reaction. They start in alignment, with purpose, with structure, and with presence. Owning the first hour is about intention. It doesn't have to be the same for everyone, but it should contain elements that anchor you. For many, that means movement, some kind of physical activity that wakes up the body and tells your mind you're alive and in charge. It could be stretching, walking, working out, or even simple breathing exercises. The body leads the mind, and when your body moves, your energy follows. Silence is another powerful ingredient. In a world of constant noise, beginning your day with stillness is an act of rebellion and self-respect. Whether it's meditation, prayer, or just sitting in quiet with your thoughts, silence grounds you. It creates space between yesterday's noise and today's intentions. It reminds you that before the demands come flooding in, you get to decide who you want to be today. Reflection and visualization are also tools that amplify the power of this hour. Taking 5 minutes to review your goals, write down your intentions, or visualize the kind of day you want to experience can radically shift your mindset. It's no longer about surviving the schedule. It's about shaping it. It becomes less about what happens and more about how you show up in response. Reading something that sharpens your thinking can also feed your focus. A few pages of a great book, a passage of wisdom, or even a single quote can plant seeds of clarity that influence your entire day. Input matters. What you feed your mind first thing in the morning often determines your thought patterns for the rest of the day. And don't underestimate the power of small wins in that first hour. Making your bed, organizing your space, drinking water, or even preparing a healthy breakfast. These are acts of order, control, and discipline. They are subtle signals to your brain that you're capable, that you're taking care of yourself, and that you're prepared to face whatever the day throws your way. The beauty of owning your first hour is that it doesn't require perfection or elaborate rituals. It just requires consistency. When you claim that time for yourself every morning, you build momentum. You build trust with yourself. You no longer enter the day on defense. You walk in with clarity, readiness, and direction. And over time, these mornings add up, not just in productivity, but in identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who leads, not follows. Someone who chooses structure over chaos, purpose over autopilot. Owning the first hour isn't about control, it's about freedom. The freedom to start your day by design, not by default. The freedom to become the kind of person who doesn't wait for motivation or convenience, but simply shows up, ready, present, and powerful. Discomfort is the price of progress. Every time you choose the hard path, the one that stretches you, challenges you, and pushes your limits, you invest in a stronger, more capable version of yourself. Discomfort tests you. It's inconvenient, sometimes painful, and almost always unfamiliar, but it's in that very discomfort where growth lies. On the other side of it is the person you've always wanted to become. Regret, on the other hand, is the quiet ache of missed opportunities. It doesn't shout, it lingers, It shows up in the moments when you wonder what could have been if you'd spoken up, taken the leap, said no, or simply believed in yourself enough to act. Regret is what happens when comfort wins too often. It accumulates over time, not because of one major decision, but because of all the little moments where fear was chosen over courage, ease over effort, familiarity over growth. Every day offers a choice between these two, and while discomfort is temporary, regret can last a lifetime. Choosing discomfort doesn't mean seeking pain for its own sake. It means leaning into the actions you know are necessary, even when they feel intimidating or uncertain. It means having the difficult conversation that clears the air, waking up earlier than you want to because your goals matter more than your excuses, and risking rejection to pursue something meaningful. It's uncomfortable to step outside your known limits, to be vulnerable, to fail in public. But those are the exact situations that develop resilience, sharpen your focus, and build the kind of confidence that can't be faked. Confidence doesn't come from avoiding hard things. It comes from surviving them. Each time you show up for yourself in a moment of discomfort, you collect proof that you are stronger than your doubts. Choosing discomfort also builds discipline, the discipline to follow through when motivation fades, the discipline to stick with your values when they're tested, the discipline to keep showing up when nothing seems to be happening yet. Discomfort is the training ground. It's the pressure that forges character. Without it, we drift into complacency, stuck in loops of procrastination, comparison, and low self-esteem. Avoiding discomfort may feel safe in the moment, but it creates internal tension. Deep down, you know when you've played small. You know when you've backed down from something that mattered. That quiet knowledge becomes regret, the kind that eats away at your potential and keeps you trapped in what-ifs. But every time you choose discomfort, you break that cycle. You move forward. You may not get it perfect. You might fail. But failure from effort always holds more value than regret from inaction. It teaches you, it refines you, and it builds momentum. Momentum that opens new doors, introduces new opportunities, and invites the right people and challenges into your life. Eventually, discomfort becomes less threatening. You begin to crave it because you see how much it moves the needle. You stop looking for shortcuts and start trusting the process. You stop fearing struggle and start respecting it. Discomfort stops being a threat and starts being a signal, an indicator that you're in the right place, doing the right work. The truth is, there is no path worth walking that doesn't include discomfort. And while it may not always feel good, it always works for your good. The cost of regret is far greater than the price of temporary discomfort. So lean into the challenge, choose the difficult road, embrace the moments that scare you, because those moments are the ones that shape you. And when the day comes that you look back, you'll see not a trail of regrets, but a path of growth, built by every brave choice you made when it would have been easier not to. Your energy is one of your most valuable resources, and how you protect it defines the quality of your life. Unlike money or time, energy isn't always easy to measure, but you know when it's low. You feel drained, unmotivated, and detached. That's not just burn out. It's often the result of giving your energy away too freely to people, places, and problems that don't deserve it. Guarding your energy isn't selfish, it's essential. Not everyone and everything is worthy of your attention. Some conversations are designed to provoke, not resolve. Some people are more interested in control than connection. And some environments are wired to distract, not empower. When you start filtering what you engage with, you begin to reclaim the power that's been slowly leaking from you. Guarding your energy means learning to walk away from things that may seem urgent, but aren't actually important. Not every notification, opinion, or crisis requires your response. There's a difference between being kind and being available to everyone all the time. Energy vampires are real. They come disguised as constant complainers, passive-aggressive manipulators, or even well-meaning friends who leave you feeling worse after every interaction. You don't need to explain yourself for stepping back from what drains you. Protecting your energy is not about building walls, it's about building gates. Open to those who lift you, closed to what depletes you. Social media, endless scrolling, and reactive habits can quietly erode your energy too. Every time you open an app without intention, you trade presence for distraction. Mental clutter accumulates, and before you know it, your focus is scattered, your confidence shaken, and your inner peace disrupted. Guarding your energy means setting limits. It means choosing content that feeds your growth, not your comparison. Physical energy matters just as much. How you treat your body, through movement, rest, and nutrition, impacts every other area of life. Skipping sleep, overloading your schedule, and ignoring your health might earn temporary results, but it creates long-term depletion. You can't pour from an empty cup. Rest is not a reward, it's a responsibility. Movement isn't a punishment, it's a privilege. The way you treat your physical energy sets the tone for your emotional and mental energy. Boundaries are the front line of energy protection. Saying no isn't rude, it's responsible. When you learn to decline invitations that don't align with your values, commitments that don't respect your time, or relationships that don't support your growth, you create space for what truly matters. Boundaries don't push people away. They draw the right ones closer. Those who respect your boundaries respect your energy and, by extension, respect you. It's also crucial to surround yourself with people who charge you rather than drain you. The right circle will challenge you, support you, and believe in your potential. They'll call you out when needed, but they'll never consistently make you feel small. Your environment is either fueling your energy or leaking it. Choose wisely, because who and what you're around becomes what you normalize. Guarding your energy isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. It means checking in with yourself regularly, noticing when you feel off, and tracing it back to what or who has access to you. It means staying grounded in your values, even when it's inconvenient. It means choosing peace over drama, clarity over noise, and alignment over approval. The most focused, fulfilled, and high-performing people don't do everything. They do the right things with the right energy. They protect what fuels them because they know their energy is their edge. It's what allows them to show up fully, give generously, and live purposefully. Guarding your energy is not about being guarded. It's about being intentional. When your energy is preserved, your potential is unleashed. In a world full of distractions and endless to-do lists, completing one meaningful task each day is a quiet act of power. It brings direction to chaos, clarity to overwhelm, and confidence to self-doubt. When you focus your energy on a single action that truly matters, you transform your day from busy to productive, and your mindset from scattered to grounded. One meaningful task might seem small on the surface, but its impact is deep and lasting. Meaningful doesn't always mean massive. It doesn't have to be the biggest thing, but it has to be the right thing. The task that moves the needle forward in your personal growth, your relationships, your work, or your health. It could be having an honest conversation you've been avoiding, making real progress on a project, showing up fully for someone who needs you, or taking the next step in a goal you've been procrastinating on. These moments, small as they seem, are what shape your future. The key is intentionality. Every day brings dozens of tasks that clamor for your attention. Emails, messages, errands, calls. They pile up and make it easy to mistake movement for progress. But when you step back and ask yourself, what is the one thing I can do today that will truly matter? You gain clarity. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. Completing that one task becomes your anchor, something you can point to at the end of the day and say, this mattered. It also builds trust with yourself. Following through on something important tells your mind that your actions align with your priorities. And when you do that day after day, that trust becomes inner strength. It becomes the confidence to take on more, to risk failure, and to pursue bigger goals. Confidence isn't built by hype or inspiration. It's built by doing what you said you would do, even when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. This practice also breaks the cycle of perfectionism. So often, people get stuck waiting for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect conditions to begin. But perfection is a myth that delays progress. By focusing on one meaningful task, you shift your mindset from everything has to be done to something important will be done. Progress replaces pressure. Action silences anxiety. You learn that momentum doesn't come from finishing everything. It comes from starting something that matters. Completing one meaningful task also fights the feeling of powerlessness. Life can be overwhelming. Goals can seem too big. But when you zoom in and commit to one task at a time, you regain control. You prove to yourself that you can make progress, no matter the chaos around you. That sense of control is a foundation for resilience. It reminds you that while you can't do everything, you can always do something, and that something makes a difference. Moreover, this habit creates compound growth. One meaningful task per day equals 365 meaningful actions in a year. That's 365 bricks laid in the foundation of your future. That's 365 decisions to live with purpose rather than passivity. Over time, these daily actions compound into skills, habits, relationships, and results that redefine what you believe is possible. Some days, the meaningful task will take an hour. Other days, it might take 5 minutes. But the value isn't in the time, it's in the intention. What matters is that you chose to move forward with focus instead of getting lost in the noise. Each task is a vote for the person you're becoming. Each completed step is proof that your effort matters. In the midst of your busy schedule and endless obligations, find that one thing, do it fully, finish it with care, then take a breath and remember, progress is not about doing more, it's about doing what matters most. Ending the day with reflection is a powerful ritual that brings closure, clarity, and calm. It's a deliberate pause that allows you to slow down, step back, and make sense of everything you've experienced. While most people rush from one day to the next without a second thought, those who take time to reflect understand that growth doesn't just happen. It's captured in the quiet moments of honest review. Reflection isn't about dwelling on mistakes or romanticizing wins. It's about extracting meaning from your day. It allows you to process your emotions, evaluate your actions, and reconnect with your purpose. It gives you a chance to ask important questions. What did I learn today? What did I do well? Where could I have been better? What drained me? What gave me energy? These aren't casual thoughts. They are tools that turn experience into insight. This habit creates a sense of completion. Too often, the mind carries unfinished loops, conversations replayed, tasks left undone, feelings unprocessed. Reflection brings those loose ends into the light. By acknowledging them, writing them down, or simply becoming aware of them, you give your brain permission to release them. This mental closure is key to better sleep, deeper rest, and waking up with a clearer mind. Reflection also deepens your relationship with yourself. In the noise of life, it's easy to lose track of your inner voice. But when you take a few minutes to sit in silence or journal at the end of the day, you reconnect. You begin to understand your patterns, recognize your fears, and honor your growth. You see where you held back and where you showed up fully. You stop running on autopilot and start living with awareness. This practice cultivates gratitude. Even on the hardest days, there's always something to be thankful for: a lesson learned, a moment of laughter, someone who showed kindness. When you reflect, you train your mind to look for what's working instead of only noticing what's missing. Gratitude rewires your brain for optimism. It shifts your perspective from lack to abundance, and over time, it builds emotional resilience. Reflection also sharpens your focus for the future. When you understand what made today meaningful, or unproductive, you can make better choices tomorrow. It's a feedback loop that leads to smarter decisions and faster growth. It helps you stop repeating mistakes and start reinforcing what works. You become more intentional with your time, your energy, and your relationships. You stop drifting and start directing your life. This habit doesn't need to be complex. It can be 5 minutes of journaling, a voice note to yourself, or quiet thought in bed. What matters is the consistency. When done regularly, reflection becomes a powerful form of self-coaching. It teaches you to listen without judgment and to learn without shame. You stop needing outside validation because you're already paying attention to yourself. Closing the day with reflection also builds emotional intelligence. You become more aware of your triggers, your motivations, and your impact on others. You develop empathy because you've taken time to sit with your own experience. You become less reactive and more responsive. You learn to carry your days with presence instead of pressure. Ultimately, reflection is a mirror. It shows you who you are today and who you're becoming. It gives you the space to appreciate your journey, recalibrate your direction, and recommit to your values. While others close their day with distraction, you close yours with intention. And that difference makes all the difference. Each evening is an opportunity to reclaim your story, to honor the progress, to acknowledge the struggle, and to step into tomorrow with wisdom and purpose. That's the quiet power of reflection. It prepares you not just to sleep well, but to live well. Transformation doesn't happen in a single moment of inspiration. It happens in the small, often unseen acts repeated every day. Consistency is the engine behind every lasting change. It's not glamorous, and it's rarely easy, but it's reliable. When people look at someone who's built discipline, skill, or strength, they often wonder what their secret is. The answer is usually simple. They kept showing up, long after the excitement faded. That's the power of consistency. It builds results quietly and compounds progress over time. There's a myth that change requires giant leaps, that you need a total overhaul of your life to become better. But the truth is, transformation lives in the mundane. The early mornings, the healthy choices, the time spent learning, the small steps taken in the right direction. These steps may feel insignificant in the moment, but together they form a path to real, permanent change. Every repetition strengthens the habit. Every action reaffirms identity. Over time, you stop just doing the thing. You become the kind of person who does it. Consistency breeds confidence. When you prove to yourself that you can stick with something, even when it's hard or inconvenient, you build trust in your own word. You stop relying on motivation and start leaning into commitment. You stop needing external rewards because the internal reward, knowing you followed through, is more powerful. This self-trust becomes a foundation you can build anything on. You start to believe in your ability to create change, not because of hype or hope, but because you've lived it. It's easy to be consistent when everything feels good, when the schedule is clear, when energy is high, when outcomes are visible. But true consistency is forged in the moments you don't feel like it. On the days when life is messy, your mind is tired, and results aren't showing up. These are the days that test your resolve and define your transformation. Anyone can start, few keep going, but those who do win. Because while talent is a gift, consistency is a decision, and decisions shape destiny, this process requires patience. In a world addicted to speed, consistency feels slow. But transformation is not about how fast you go, it's about whether you keep going. The person who moves slowly but never stops will always go further than the one who sprints and burns out. Change may not be visible at first, but it's happening. Internally, your mind is rewiring, your habits are forming, your resilience is building. One day, the results will catch up, and when they do, they'll seem sudden, but they were built through quiet, steady effort all along. Consistency also teaches you how to manage failure, because along the way, you will slip. You'll miss a day, break a promise to yourself, fall short of your goal, But the consistent person doesn't quit. They reset. They understand that progress is not perfection, and a single setback doesn't undo the work. Instead of starting over every time life interrupts, they keep moving forward with grace and grit. This mindset keeps momentum alive and turns obstacles into fuel. Transformation through consistency doesn't require doing everything. It requires doing the right things regularly. That might mean showing up for your health, your mindset, your craft, or your relationships. Whatever the area, the principle remains the same. Small acts, done with intention, change everything. When you stop chasing quick fixes and start committing to the process, you stop feeling overwhelmed by how far you have to go. You just take the next step, then the next, and the next. Over time, consistency makes the impossible feel inevitable. Because what once felt like effort becomes routine. What once required discipline becomes part of who you are. And that's when true transformation happens. Not just in what you do, but in how you see yourself. Not because you changed overnight, but because you chose to show up again and again until the new you became your reality. Consistency is the quiet force that transforms effort into excellence, potential into progress, and habits into identity. It doesn't demand perfection, only presence. Day by day, choice by choice, it molds the strongest version of you not through sudden leaps, but through steady steps. While others stop and start, get distracted or discouraged, you keep showing up. And that is your edge. Real change isn't about doing everything right. It's about refusing to quit when it gets hard, so stay the course, trust the process. Let consistency be your legacy, and transformation will follow.